welcome to another edition of Iron Sports, and I am Jermaine Brown. In this edition, we continue our riveting discussion with the former world heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield, and we highlight the achievements of Jamaica's Sunshine Girls, who were runners-up at the recently concluded Fast 5 Netball World Series Down Under. We'll also start our countdown to the World Cup in Russia next year. As usual, let us know what you think by heading to our Facebook page, Iron Sports JA. We take a break, but stick around. When we come back, we're going to be heading to the courts. Lots to discuss. Soon come. Welcome back to Iron Sports. Now, the Sunshine Girls equaled their best ever finish at the Fast 5 Netball World Series as they claimed a silver medal at the two-day championship, which ended on Sunday down under. The girls were unbeaten right up to the final, but unfortunately for them, suffered their only defeat of the tournament in the final. This against England, going down 29-34. Joining us now to give us an indication as to what the tournament was like and how well the girls acquitted themselves is the interim Sunshine Girls head coach, Sasha Gay Henry. Sasha Gay, welcome to Iron Sports. First time?
Thanks for having me. Yes,
I hope they gave you the gifts, you know.
Who gave me
for
gifts?
The first time.
No. Right, so I'm expecting the gifts afterwards.
Yes. My producers will definitely do
okay.
that. All right, so let's get back to the Fast 5 tournament. Now, second place finish. The entire Jamaica was watching, up and watching. But for you, as interim head coach, being on the sidelines, what was the tournament like overall?
The atmosphere was very good. I think the competition was of high quality, and I think that our girls performed well throughout the 2 days of competition, and I mean, we're excited for that number 2 place, having a silver medal.
Back in 2009, when we also got silver, you were a member of that of that team. When you compare the two finals, 2009 and of course this year, what's the difference?
Well, for us in 2009, we actually just wanted to make it to the finals. So it wasn't really about finishing on top, being the gold medal. We just wanted to beat England and to be in that finals. For this year, though, we wanted to win the tournament. And because of how bad we have done the last Fast 5 series, we were really committed to be giving off our best and to try and execute and to be on top for that.
And we got some big scalps getting to the final. We beat Australia, we beat New Zealand, we beat England, all in the preliminary matches. How satisfying was that? Because we know these teams are difficult to get by.
Yeah, I mean, these teams are very competitive and we know they're strong. And I mean, we were like the underdogs going to them. So it was where we had nothing to lose and was just to give up our best at each game that we play and each quarter that we play in. Yeah. So, I mean, we're pretty satisfied with the outcome of beating them because, I mean, you could see the depression after we have won all of those games. Right. So we're excited for the wins.
You know, the Fast 5 is compared to 2020 cricket or rugby sevens, shorter version. Some would say that the Sunshine Girls are more suited to the Fast 5. We are far more competitive. What say you about this?
I wouldn't say that because last year we came 5th. Yeah. This year we are 2nd. So, I mean, I'm not going to say that because really and truly the Fast 5 doesn't really give us the props of world ranking. Right. It's the original game. So that's where our focus will remain. Yeah. And we'll also keep our focus on the Fast 5 for the years that it comes.
And we brought a pretty strong team down under. Was this the major factor in how well we did compared to last year when we ended 5th the previous year? We were 4th before that. For sure. I think this team was more rounded than last team. And last year they had a lot of hiccups in terms of their preparation because we had New Zealand series. So a lot of the players were not available for the Fast 5, and that was just based on the fact that the ranking. So we wanted
the top players to go to the World Series that we had in terms of the qualification test series.
Let's quickly look at the format itself and how the Fast 5 game is played, and how the teams are able to score, and just the ingenuity that goes into it. You can score from outside the circle, and that's 3 points, for instance. Your own thoughts on.
I mean, it's exciting, and it's fierce, and it's quick, and that's what we like about it. The fact that we can score outside is a good thing for us also. So I mean, you have to be very strategic, very creative in terms of how you create the options for your players during the game.
Yeah. Shanice Beckford, Evangeline Williams, she used that word too. Awesome. And she was quite, when I mentioned ingenuity in terms of how she shot and so on. I mean, what how she shot was pretty much what made her comfortable.
For us though, we do practice a lot of it, and so she was one of the main person with Rebecca to be shooting the longer range shot. So that was one of our plans going into the series. So I mean, she's quite confident and she's quite comfortable. So what we wanted her to do was to take more of the shorter shots to get comfortable and then go for the longer ones, and it worked well for us.
And the team looked relaxed throughout. enjoying yourselves. We saw some clips of the girls dancing, yourself, the one drop. Well, maybe not one drop, but how much was this a contributing factor to how well you did overall?
That was one of the main contributing factors, because the girls believe in themselves. They are very cohesive. I mean, strong unit. So despite the fact that we had a lot of hiccups going into the tournament in terms of bad lighting for our association, we really wanted to do well, and I think that bonded them even more as a group, and they believe in each other, and that made it possible for us also.
You mentioned confidence. When you got to that final, was there any signs of complacency or being overconfident, seeing that you had already beaten England, had beaten Australia, beat New Zealand, and here comes the final now?
No, at no point, because that was one of the main things that the coaches tried to instill, that don't believe that we have won everything. So even when we won all the games for the first day, we didn't even want to focus on the finals. We wanted to take it step by step. So we know England has good quality. England has their best team right now that they have been using from last year, and it will not get any better. So we know that they were good, and we know that they are good range shooters compared to us, who have just started to shoot from range. Yeah. So I mean, they were humble. They were humble. So I didn't think that they were over their heads in terms of winning all the games.
The turnaround period between games was quite short too,
yes.
And especially that final prelim match, and then to the final.
Right.
Was it that their legs were gone? What was the contributing factor that you think led to us eventually losing?
I think maybe a little few errors in terms of our play, in terms of midcourt, and I think that we could. Like in terms of the shooting, maybe if we had finished on some of the shots, that would meet us. But all in all, England got a lot too, and they missed. So, I mean, it's just a part of the game.
Yeah. I think an English player was named player of the tournament, but we had some outstanding players too. Your thoughts on that decision?
Well, that's their decision. But I would have given to one of my own. I could give it to Shanice. I could have given it to Evangeline as one of the top players for the competition.
Yeah.
And Janelle Fowler-Reid, who had the most goals and the most rebounds for the tour.
Yeah.
So that was something good for us too.
Maybe it was a matter of just giving a player from the team that eventually won.
Maybe.
What was it looked easy. Everything looked good on TV. But were there any challenges, or what were the challenges though for the team?
During the competition?
Yeah.
Okay, so one main challenge we had was like the recovery time, because we were not accustomed to playing those short games, so we wanted to really try to see how best we could have them recovered. And we are limited in our resources in terms of what we have, so we had to just try and ensure that we have a lot of shakes for the legs, ice baths, eating properly during the recovery time. That was one main thing that we actually had. That was one of the main problems that we actually had on that tour.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned problems. Before this tournament, the national program had its own issues and so on. So how does the national program now, yourself and others, ensure that you kick on from here, seeing that you went to the Fast 5, you got the silver, ensure that you use this momentum to your advantage?
Well, for now, I think that we're going to meet as the association will meet, and I think we will discuss the way forward and put in proper plans as to improve on our performance for the COM games.
Yeah, and of course, you know, I mean, I couldn't let you leave here without asking you about your own tenure as interim head coach and what it has been like thus far for you.
It has its good days and it has its bad days.
Yeah, let's start with the bad days.
I mean, some days it's rough, and in terms of even preparing your job and having this job can be a challenge in terms of your planning, in terms of actually going through and looking at video sessions can also be a challenge. Just the whole preparation in terms of the facilities that we have, sometimes we're unable to use the indoor, and then the hard surface outside kind of. The girl, especially the ones overseas, are not really accustomed to that type of surface, so we have a lot of knees and ankles, and the rain was also a problem. So it was good that the association eventually got the indoor arena for us, so that was one thing that we were happy about.
Yeah, and it's a challenging post, but is it one that you are ready and willing to take on full time?
I mean, in the long term, anybody would want that, you know.
In the long term,
yes,
or the short term?
Yes. I mean, if it is that I will have to do it, then I will have to do it, but, you know, having the right body of persons around me to support me, because, you know, I'm young into it also, so I would need proper guidance and so forth, so, and training. So if that's the way, then that's the way we'll have to go.
But it's not one that you turn down. Let's say you got that call
no, I wouldn't
after
turn
Iron
it
Sports is aired.
No, based on the girls and how they're at and, you know, how they feel about the program, no, I think they'll be disappointed in me if I would do that.
Yeah. All right, and one last question, essentially the overall program now as we move on. What's the future of netball what does it look like at this juncture?
Well, it looks bright. Definitely we want to start doing some recruiting into the national team for the COM games. You know, we'd love to have some maybe feeder programs. For me, I think one way that we could improve also is to start allowing the players to play netball only. For example, even for the COM games coming up, you know, we'd like to have like adopt a player program. So companies could adopt a player so they could be off work and just focus on netball just for the time up until COM games.
And what's the word on Romelda Aiken?
Oh, Romelda Aikens is in high spirit. I'm in contact with her, and she'll be back. She'll be back. You'll see her back in her colors.
Right. Excellent. And we hope to have you back here as well, Sasha Gay. Thank you so very much for joining us here on Iron Sports, and all the very best in your tenure as interim head coach. And listen, when you get that head coach position, we'll have you right back here.
Oh, okay.
Sasha Gay Henry, thank you so very much.
Thanks for having
me. For joining
me.
us here on Iron Sports. All right, we take a break. And when we come back, we're going to be checking in with the legend, Evander Holyfield, part 2 of our 2-part series.